Last week, he wanted to buy OpenAI, for 97 billion. And this week, he's just showing that, he has skin in the game in terms of his own company, xAI, that also released a new model. And the xAI's model is called Grok. So they released a third version of their model. Think of it as similar to, ChatGPT or the DeepSeek model, where they released a reasoning model recently, and everyone is talking about it in terms of how much efficiency they gained in terms of the new model release. And Grok-3, I think, is also trying for something similar in terms of reasoning model that gets better with more compute. And remember, xAI has the largest chip cluster when it comes to the pre-training. So they built this data center with 100,000 GPUs that are all connected for training your LLM. And this is the first output of that cluster. So in terms of benchmarks, even though they show it's better than, ChatGPT and Google Gemini and the other models out there, it's hard to put too much credence to that simply because all these companies are optimizing for benchmarks. These LLMs have become very good at answering the questions that help you score high on these benchmarks. So you can't say the overall model will be far better than ChatGPT, for example, which is used by over 300 million users.
That's where I wanted to go. I'm trying to put this into context. I need a list of how the market's set up here. I've got ChatGPT, I've got Gemini, because I use Google, so I see that pop up on the top of all my searches now. So I kind of have a feel for what that is. Now I've got Grok out there. Are those the three main large language models that people are using?
No, you also have the Anthropic Claude. So remember, Anthropic is a company that spun out of OpenAI, then partnered with Amazon and Google. And really, they have one of the best foundational models out there used by enterprises. And then you have Meta Llama. There's a reason why Meta ramped up their CapEx, when they guided earlier last month. And so I would say the field is narrowing to these 5-6 companies, but there is no doubt that a company like DeepSeek came out of nowhere. So they are also one of the foundational model players. And look, when it comes to the model functionality, I think we are at a point where all these models can do certain things well, like coding assistant. All these models are good in terms of acting as a coding assistant for a developer. The chatbot functionality is getting better and better. The image generation functionality based on prompts is getting better and better. So this is becoming almost table stakes. Every foundational model has to have this
How many people are using these things? Like when my little Gemini thing pops up on the top of my Google, I'm not telling anybody that I'm using large language models. Do you use it?
Look, Google search shows you an AI overview at the top of the page.
It does.
That is all powered by their LLM. So you'll be surprised.
So I can say I am a user.
You are a user, and so is everyone else. Google has a 2 billion daily active user base.
So are they going to control this business like they control search?
They have the most distribution right now. So clearly, Google can just roll out any new product functionality related to LLMs in a moment, and it is accessible by over 1 billion users. I think ChatGPT is a new product that's creating its own distribution. Even xAI, it's built on Twitter data. So the proprietary data that they use for training their LLMs is the Twitter feed that no one else has.
So can we step back? If somebody wanted to defend Elon Musk for flushing tens of billions of dollars away in terms of his acquisition of Twitter, most of the math would tell you that's what happened. But can he come back and say, yeah, but I bought it in large part for the data that's now driving my xAI?
Oh, he has redeemed himself big time.
He has.
Absolutely. I think that gone are the days where everyone was focused on how Twitter's advertising revenue is going down the toilet. No, he has redeemed himself.
All right, good for him. He's on a roll. Good for him. How about that $97 billion thing for OpenAI? Was that credible in any way in your sense, or was that just Elon rocking the boat saying, I'm here?
Yeah, and plus he wants to make it tough for OpenAI to convert to a profit entity. Remember, they're a nonprofit entity that's trying to convert. And we know there is obviously a lot going on between him and Sam Altman. They don't get along. And clearly that has something to do with the fact that this offer came about right at the time when OpenAI was thinking of raising a funding round and becoming a profit entity.